on, everybody? Welcome to 49ers First Takes with the Seahawks 49ers Postgame review. Niners suffer a second straight loss at the hands of a really good team, this time to the struggling Seattle Seahawks. It was a game the Niners came out starting fast, came out throwing the ball, looking really good, and scored a touchdown early to take the lead. Niners defense came out looking on fire as well, really doing some damage, sacking Russell Wilson, I think 3 times within the first half. But after that, the wheels fell off, and the 49ers ended up suffering a pretty disheartening defeat at the hands of a division rival, now dropping 2 straight in the division. And now we have the Arizona Cardinals in front of the division, 4-0, having beaten the Rams earlier today. So the Niners aren't doing themselves any favors with the way they played today. Like I said, they came out pretty fast. Jimmy looked good the first drive, and then somewhere along the way, supposedly he was stepped on or something and hurt his calf. And, it was more of the same horizontal offense with the ball not really going downfield too much. Trey Sermon looked pretty good to start the game, I will say that. But as we all saw, Trey Lance came in the second half, and I'll get to that in a second. But the Niners, Jimmy threw a pick, and then, of course, the Trent Cannon fumble coming out of the end zone I think it was to start the second half. He actually fumbled it twice before recovering. The Seahawks were up 14-7 at that point, ended up going up 21-7, and that was pretty much the ball game. The Niners, scored at the end of the game on a couple drives, but this game really felt out of control after we dropped to 21-7. But heartbreaking game. Very frustrating to watch. Josh in the comments should have scored 20 points. Yeah, we should have scored at least 3 touchdowns in the first half. We left a bunch of points out on the field and came back to haunt us in the end. You go against really good quarterbacks, eventually they're going to find their way. If you go against even, as a coach, as much as I can't stand Seattle's coach, they found a way to adjust and eventually take over this game. That being said, the Niners were in it for a while, and they had their chances, but you have a young quarterback come in. He looked like he was moving too fast. Trey had a solid second half, but he definitely had. You could tell that the game's moving really fast for him. He's definitely not seeing the field for sure. It's one thing that you could say Jimmy's not seeing the field, but as a rookie, he's definitely not seeing the field. There's guys open, especially from people who were in the press box. I was listening to a little bit of post game, and they definitely said there was some plays to be made that Trey didn't see. Trey is definitely a very athletic player, and it's fun to see. I'm not going to lie, a quarterback that can make plays with his legs. It's something we haven't had since since Kaepernick, but before that, Steve Young. So that part, I will say that I am really happy with. But this was a frustrating game to watch. 49ers aren't a real good team right now. They got good players. They have talent. It's just not a good team altogether. Too many penalties. Again, 2 turnovers in this game. Jimmy with an interception. He threw it right to the defender. I don't know what he was looking for, but it's funny. A lot was made again of Seattle's defense and how they were so suspect. And then again, of course, we come into the game and we make them look like world beaters after the first drive. So when you don't have an electric offense and an offense that can move the ball consistently, you're going to make really bad defenses look really good. And that's what we did. We made them look way better than they were. I'm going to say this, and I don't know if you guys agree with me, but John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan are getting to the point now in this 5th year where they can't escape criticism anymore. This is the team that they built. This is the roster that they built. This is the regime that they constructed. And so far, 5 years in, Other than one season, we're not really seeing the dividends that were to be expected by this point down the line. The first couple of years, you can say were a wash because of just a lack of talent and all that. But once you build a roster up to the point where they can get to a Super Bowl, and you have players on both sides of the ball that are damn good, it's not like we lack talent. You just wonder if this regime, GM and coach wise, are good enough to get this team over the hump. Do we need a new voice? Does Eric Bieniemy come in here next year and become the head coach? Probably not. Do I think he would be a fantastic coach for a guy like Trey Lance? Absolutely. It's just a really weird regime. They draft players who don't make it to the field or missed entirely, and they have mid-rounders that seem to do wonders. And you wonder, what the hell did other teams miss when scouting them? And it's just, it's really gotten to a point now where this is, I think, a year where somebody along that regime, whether it be coach, GM, or somebody front office wise or an assistant, is going to have to fall on the sword. Again, we're 5 years into this regime, and after 4 weeks, we're a 500 football team, still making ghastly penalties, still turning the ball over. Injuries are always a concern. Trent Williams went out in this game with an apparent shoulder injury after coming back from an apparent issue with cramps. And he's the only one to really go out. I mean, again, Jimmy ended up going out. They say that Jimmy had a calf issue, but I don't know. It seems to almost be a narrative to get in front of him not coming out the second half as the starting quarterback. But who knows? All I know is that at this point in time in this regime, 5 years in, this team is just an average team. They're not a Super Bowl team. And anybody who's a fan who thinks I'm losing it or I'm overreacting, you can honestly look me in the face and tell me this is a Super Bowl team. You're lying, because it's the same issues year after year. Injuries, turnovers, just mental mistakes, same old, and nothing's changed. And we're getting to a point in this regime where people need to start being criticized. Kyle Shanahan needs to be held to a high standard. Yeah, he has an ability to make fantastic offensive schemes and all that, but maybe he's not a head coach. Maybe he's not head coach material. He only cares about the offense. He leaves the defense to whoever runs it, and his hands are only on the offense. And he's definitely in charge of personnel issues. I don't know, maybe take away personnel decisions from him like they did with Bill Walsh, but Bill Walsh won 3 Super Bowls. That's a whole different situation. I mean, Kyle Shanahan has gotten to a Super Bowl, or 2 of them. One as a coach, hasn't won. I don't know. All I know is whatever has been going on isn't working. 1 winning season in 4 1/4 seasons so far. This season isn't written. There's still a lot of football left. The Niners can go on a long winning streak, but you guys got to ask yourself the question, do you think that the Niners are capable of such a thing? I do not. I could be wrong, but you watch the games and it's the same thing. The offense is horizontal. They don't stretch the team. They don't stretch the defense vertically. Teams sit on things. They're a running team first and a short passing team later. And as of now, I just haven't seen the progression of both the front office and the coach over the 5 years to where you can honestly say this is a regime that's going to win a Super Bowl. So at this point right now, I'm skeptical of everything. I'm questioning everything. Jimmy's the same player that he's been. He's not going to change. He's a solid quarterback, but he makes mistakes that Trey Lance makes, and Trey Lance is a rookie that started 1 year in college, and he's been in the league 8 years. So it's just frustrating to watch this team. They have a lot of good players, and they're wasting the primes of guys like Kittle, who has looked really weird this season. Anybody else think that Kittle just looks off, almost disengaged a little bit? You think maybe his off the field life is more important to him. I don't know. Something seems off with him. He makes plays, but he's still always hurt no matter what, no matter how much they take care of him. Didn't help that Jimmy hung him out to dry today and get him hurt. Big surprise, right? Jimmy has at least one hospital ball in him every game, and he definitely got Kittle nailed. But yeah, something's off with George Kittle. I just can't put my finger on it. So Jimmy actually started the game pretty well. Like I said, he ended up finishing 14 of 23 for 165 yards, one touchdown, one pick, before succumbing to the calf injury. And then, Trey Lance took over in the second half. I will say Trey Lance looks like a rookie. He looks like he doesn't see the field very well. He makes plays that make you say, wow, and give you a lot of excitement for the future. But then you also see why he is the backup and why Jimmy is the starter. And I will admit firsthand, if I'm going to be critical of Jimmy, I'm also going to be critical of Trey. I don't want people to think that I'm just a Jimmy hater. Trey didn't look too great for a bit. He came on late, but a lot of his stuff was kind of sandlot football, a lot of, making plays in the dirt, so to speak, scrambling, getting, guys open way after they've been initially covered. So Trey has some promise to him, but he's very raw. And hopefully, I don't know what the course of action is going to be if Jimmy is going to play next week. I saw something where if he's healthy, it looks like he's probably going to be the starter next week. So, things might go back to Jimmy Garoppolo. But yeah, the Niners are in a position right now that they didn't want to be in. 2-2 to start the year. And they're going to Arizona to face an undefeated Cardinals team. And yeah, Niners are just spinning their wheels right now. They don't look too impressive on, they look pretty good on defense in some places, but then, for whatever reason, they have a breakdown, or maybe it's just guys being on the field too long. They did play pretty well on defense, though, I must say. Trey Sermon did well. He had a pretty good game, I will say. He looks a lot better. It looks like he's one cutting it and going and not thinking too much. So I'm happy for the kid for sure. According to J Mouse, breaking news, Jimmy G won't play versus Cardinals. Trey Lance will start. Is that official? Can you confirm that, Jay? Thank you, Jay in the Bay. Hot diggity dog, as you say. Thank you for the $5 super chat, brother. Appreciate it. Sorry I stole your line, but I had to do it. Josh says, I didn't expect Trey to be lights out. He has to play more to get right. That's what I say. The thing with Trey Lance is you can say he doesn't see the field well, which is true, but he's also electric and he can make plays, which is also true. Two things can be true at the same time. Fact of the matter is Trey is only going to get better if he plays. If he sits, he's not going to get better. You're going to go into next season with a guy that doesn't have any experience, and you're going to expect him to take over this franchise. So Niners fans need to readjust their expectations a little bit. If Trey ends up starting, expect growing pains, expect some issues, stalling out on drives, miscommunications, rocket balls, everything. But I feel like if he plays, he only gets better if he plays. So the Niners are in a little bit of a catch-22 situation between a rock and a hard place. And this is definitely an important year for the 49ers. I said after the Jason Verrett injury that we needed to adjust our expectations of this team. And I think people are starting to see what I mean now by talented. Yes, lots of talent. We have talent all over the field, but as a whole, we're not that great of a team right now. We're a team with a lot of talent, but can't put it all together. And we're in a tough division that if we fall any further behind we might have a hard time getting a wild card. So young season, a lot can still happen. I could be totally wrong. You guys can call me out of my BS if that happens, but it looks like from the comments, according to Jay Mouse, Jimmy's expected to miss some time. Where are we here? Sorry. So it's a Trey Lance show, guys. How much of it is a real injury? How much is it of a narrative control to keep people from jumping on the Jimmy hate train? Who knows? This is definitely a weird situation, but I mean, here we go. Trey Lance era has officially began, and I wish the kid luck. Hopefully, he gets better over time. He learns how to read defenses and speeds up his mental process. Because you guys got to admit, he looked pretty slow out there mentally. He makes up for a lot of things with his arm and his legs, but you can tell that the game is moving real fast for him right now. So, like I said, if I'm going to call Jimmy out, I'm going to call Trey out too for how he played. Solid Root says, cut Jimmy. He's trash. Can't say he's trash, but he's definitely not. He ain't Aaron Rodgers. He ain't Russell Wilson. So, but I don't want to make this all about Jimmy. There's a lot of blame to go around on this team, guys. It ain't just Jimmy Garoppolo for sure. As far as Trey Lance, Trey looked okay. He's a work in progress. He's got to get better seeing the field. Trey went 9 of 18 for 157 yards and two touchdowns. Excuse me. Of course, the big one to Debo down the right sideline where he was wide open. Those are actually the hardest plays, I think, to make. Is when a guy is so wide open. You know what I mean? So good for Trey to find him. Good thing he didn't waste too much time getting that ball out to him because Trey's processing was a little slow in this game. So, and, of course, Debo is having a fantastic season so far. And let's see what Debo's numbers were here, guys. Hold on a second. Debo's having a killer year, guys. Hopefully he can stay healthy. 8 receptions, 156 yards, and 2 touchdowns. He played outstanding. I'd like to see the Niners get more people involved, though. Kittle's definitely hurting right now. He definitely took a shot on the hospital ball that Jimmy threw. But we got to get other guys involved into this passing game. I'm big on Kyle Juszczyk being a receiver, but the Niners have a lot of work cut out for them right now. This is going to be a tough stretch. Niners fans, like I said, adjust your expectations and just let the season play out the way that it's going to play out and go from there. Put away the Super Bowl aspirations right now and just take this thing week to week. And then, see where you are at the end of the year. If we're good enough to be in the playoffs, then that's where we're going to be. If we're not, then some adjustments are going to have to be made in this organization, whether it's strength and conditioning, assistants, somebody in the front office, who knows? I just had a feeling after the Verrett injury that things were going to happen like this. And I wanted to be wrong, but looks like I'm going to be right, unfortunately. Azeez Al-Shaair had a great game. He had 10 tackles. I say this, guys, and I don't mean this in just get rid of him, but he's starting to make Dre Greenlaw look expendable. Because you can't sign everybody, right? Azeez is starting to make him look expendable. You know how the Steelers, they have a receiver and then they draft one and then they're able to get rid of the one that they had because they don't want to pay him and they keep the guy who makes less money and they just keep repeating the process. It's starting to look like that for Azeez Al-Shaair. He's been solid. He's been a constant in a Niners team that hasn't had a lot of constants. So big ups to Azeez Al-Shaair. Definitely growing on me as one of my favorite players. So yeah, definitely keep an eye on that one down the road when it comes to contract time with the guy like Dre Greenlaw. Hey, what's up, Payo Time? Yeah, definitely a big loss for us. Payo's failing to defeat. Yeah, the Rams went down to the Cardinals in pretty solid fashion. Still think the Rams have a fantastic quarterback. He's so good. I'll tell you, you guys, you can't win it without a great quarterback in this league. I hate to say it. You can survive sometimes with an average quarterback and a great defense and a run game, but all those things always have to be on. But to have a quarterback that can, put the game on their shoulders and get you going and take over is definitely important. Hopefully Trey becomes that, but he's only become like that with time. So thank you, Peo, for dropping in here. Peo's a good guy, guys, so don't attack him. He's a good Rams fan, humble, good personality, great streamer. If you guys like subscribing to other people besides 49er content, subscribe to Peo Time. He is definitely worth the watch and the listen. He kind of reminds me of Jay in the Bay in a way. He's very just what's the word I'm looking for? He's very easy to listen to. And he's friendly and he's fun and he gets everybody involved. So props to Peo. Anybody know what exactly was going on at Robbie Gould in this game? Like that whole situation where Robbie Gould, for some reason, has a groin injury right before the game. And we're forced to have Mitch Wisnowski be our placeholder or place kicker and our punter. Craziness, guys. Kind of a weird omen to start this game. I was really excited how we started this game. Our defense looked hot, man. We were getting pressure all over Russell Wilson. We came out fast on offense, but it fizzled. I was watching Twitter a lot during the first half, and a lot of people were saying we were leaving points on the field, and I totally agreed, and I know all you guys thought the same thing. So it was a matter of time before Russ got cooking. Yeah, Russell Wilson, you can say whatever you want about him. He's weird, he's nerdy, he's cringe, he's phony. But the man can ball, the man can play, and he showed us why he's Russell Wilson. And that was a way for Russ to play after the start where the Niners got all over him. The Niners still played relatively well, but still, wasn't good enough. We didn't get the job done. I don't even know what kind of season we're gonna have, guys. I'm conflicted. Part of me wants us to. Part of me wants us to. I wouldn't say play bad, but maybe we can do some stuff in the draft if we don't finish very well. But we don't have any first round picks, so it doesn't really matter. So the Niners got to figure their way out of this and get their head out of their rear ends and start playing better from the start of the game and continue through the rest of the game. I wonder if the Niners are going to be working on any kickers this week after the whole situation with Robbie Gould. I would assume so, right? So definitely keep an eye out for that. Jay in the Bay says the 49ers offense didn't take advantage of opportunities in the first half. Yeah, leaving points on the field is an understatement, Jay. They were just their defense played so well to start the game. We should have been up 21-0. Not that the game would have been over because Russ is Russ, but you put a 21 spot on the board against any team, you make it tough for them to come back. So the Niners just, for some reason, to start this year, they're just stagnant. I think a lot of it has to do with defenses know what we are, man. We're, 3 yards in a cloud of dust in the run game, and we're a dink and dunk pass game over the middle, mostly over the middle. We don't stretch the boundaries. We don't go over the top. So until that changes on this team, until we threaten defenses with anything other than a vanilla offense, I think we're going to see more of the same situation. I'm not going to lie and say that I'm, not worried about Trey Lance playing, because as much as Trey is electric and he can do things on the field that Jimmy can't, He's still young and he's still inexperienced. And, you know, the offense stalls out a little bit when he's out there because he has an inability to see the field right now. So things might get worse before they get better, guys. So keep your head, you know, keep your expectations at a minimum right now. And anything else that happens, consider it pro bono, Josh Hutchins, defense got tired. Yeah, they were on the field the whole second half, guys. So, a lot of people when we started 2-0 and I was feeling kind of iffy about the team, I was talking to somebody at work and they're like, I can't believe you're so negative of our guy that's team is 2-0. And I was telling them, like, listen, man, if you watch the games and you watch how they play out, this is a 2-0 team only, by, number, but there's so many things you could pick apart. And it felt that if we started playing really good competition, we would kind of have a barometer or, a test of what we are as a team. And we're kind of seeing what we are as a team right now. We're a team with a lot of talent, but you just can't put it all together. We got a lot of injuries on the back end in the cornerback position. Offensive line is playing so-so, and now with Trent Williams going down, it's definitely going to be an interesting situation. We're like 5 deep in running back right now. I haven't been quiet in a long time watching 49er games, but I was very quiet watching the game today. I get to a point where I don't get angry anymore. I just kind of watch things and observe from afar and just take it all in and then get on here and talk to you guys about it and bounce it off your heads to see what you guys think. Yep. They're loading up the box because they know Jimmy is throwing. Yeah, exactly. We're so predictable as an offense, guys. Anybody who disagrees with that, you're delusional because commentators say it. Our own Bay Area media says it. We are like a very predictable offense because we have a quarterback who can't challenge the other regions of the field. So until that changes, teams are going to keep playing us the same way and we're going to keep having the same outcome. So definitely, guys, hit that like button. It helps YouTube find me and helps people find me and helps my channel grow. Jay in the base says we're 2-2 and the sky isn't falling. It's great to see the defense play really well. Definitely. Trey Sermon looked good. Indeed. Maybe Trey will make the tight, you mean team better or tight end better? I think Trey can do a lot of things, but like I said, he has a hard time seeing the field. Like I said, the only way he'll be able to get better at that is if he plays, but Niners fans have to understand that if Trey plays, there's going to be some growing pains. Not that there isn't growing pains when Jimmy plays, but Jimmy is a starter and he's been in the league a long time and he's kind of a calming influence or whatever. But with Trey, it's, Eric Davis, former 49er defensive back, says, be careful what you wish for, which I think is kind of a snide remark. 49ers fans were just wishing for Trey to play because of nothing. The team has played pretty lackluster offense so far this year. And, you have a number 3 overall pick. You want to see what you got. So there had to be the right time to put him in. And this was the right time with Jimmy getting hurt. So now we're going to have to deal with the consequences. We're going to have some good plays. We're going to have some dynamite plays. And we're going to have a lot of head scratchers and frustration because he's a raw quarterback who's played one full season of college football at a level 2 school. And we're going to see the maturation. Hopefully it's an upward trend. He's really raw though. And it's going to take for a while to see the field because the NFL's moves really fast compared to North Dakota State or South, whatever he went to, whatever college. But, you're in a Division II school and then you go to the NFL. It's a pretty big jump. So I have a lot of excitement in the kid and I hope he does well. But at the same time, we're going to have to be realistic in our expectations. Yep. Exactly. For all the fans that want Trey to start, accept that he will struggle. Yeah, he's going to struggle. Jimmy struggles too, but Jimmy's a pro, and he gets us in and out of plays, and he's a professional and all that, and somewhat of a leader and a calming influence. With Trey, it's trial by fire. So be prepared for some head scratching moments where you get pissed off. But then also you see what he can do with his legs. The kid in the open field, he ain't quite Michael Vick or Russell or any of those guys, but he still has a pair of wheels on him. So thank you, Jag, for the $5 super chat. What changed the game was Trenton Cannon's fumble. Yup. We have to support Lance. Let's go. We need to go through the fire with Lance. Yep. Agreed on all fronts. Yeah. Trent Cannon's fumble completely turned this game upside down. They went up on us, and then they get the ball right back with the short field with Russell Wilson at quarterback. Good luck. Game over. That was pretty much the game. We did our best to come back at the end and make it a ball game, but I really don't think we ever really threatened them towards the end because, to get an onside and get a touchdown and 2-point conversion is a lot to ask. So hats off to the Seahawks for playing, well enough to win. I think we didn't do ourselves any favor with the Seahawks. So there's that part of it too. But the Niners are getting in their own way and beating themselves in a lot of these situations so far this year. If we can figure out a way to get through this, who knows? Maybe we can have a successful year. But like I said, handle your expectations and understand that if Trey plays, Trey's going to struggle. But I'm still going to support him. Listen, I wanted Jimmy to do great this year. I didn't want Trey to have to be put into the fire, but doesn't matter now. It is what it is, and we have to deal with the reality of what the 49ers are right now. So hats off to, like I said, Seattle, and they played well, but the Niners have to figure out what's going on in their own squad before we can really worry about everybody else. Luke Luna says, I faithfully support Trey, believe that I just want to win. I just want to make the playoffs, especially after last season. Yeah, I know, brother. It's going to be an interesting run this year with the situation that it is right now. Jimmy has an issue staying healthy. And there's a reason why they drafted Trey. And I don't think this is the situation that Kyle Shanahan envisioned for Trey. A lot of people, were saying that Jimmy had a great camp and he was going to come out killing it. And Jimmy's had a pretty slow start this year. So in a way, maybe things worked out for the better. But, like I said, growing pains are coming. So be prepared. Hawks fan here. Trey is not ready. Yeah, I agree. He's not. But the only way he's going to get ready life in sports is if he plays. He ain't gonna learn much holding a clipboard or a headset. So it's kind of it's a double-edged sword, man. You're definitely right. He does not look ready. He has an issue reading the field, but at the same time, he's got to play. That's the only way you're going to get better. Fernando, I'm hurt from this loss. I am too, brother. I did take it well, though, guys. I didn't break anything. I didn't toss anything. The fumble, the double fumble by Trenton and the subsequent touchdown after kind of sealed it for me. I was pretty much just like whatever after that. So the kid could find rhythm or a groove. You never know because he's truly that gifted. Like everyone is saying, he should be able to. Yeah. The athletic traits are there. Like Luke says, it's obvious. You watch him, you see him. With him, it's the mental aspect, which I think is always the last thing to come with the young quarterback. The physical gifts will always get you first and wow you first. But once the player understands the game from a schematic standpoint, where he's able to read the field, check in and out of plays, if the defense shows you something that you're not ready for, pass protection setup, all that stuff, clock management. Trey had an issue with clock management today. He has so much on his plate right now that he wasn't even paying attention to the play clock. So that's why a lot of people were saying, Jimmy's the best for the job right now because of all those things that I was just saying. But Trey's athletic skills and ability to make things happen with his legs and his arm is why you draft a kid that high. And now we just have to wait and see. Maybe he surprises us all and starts playing super well, but I think there's definitely going to be some hiccups. So this season's definitely going to be a lot more interesting than we ever thought it was going to be, for sure. If you look at the final total yards of this game, the 49ers outgained Seattle 457 to 234, which is unbelievable for a team that lost the game. But Seattle was efficient when they have the ball. They didn't make a ton of mistakes. After the slow start with their, getting Russell being sacked 2 or 3 times, they were able to kind of right the ship. And it's sad because their defense was so much maligned coming in, and then we get them and we can't do anything offensively. So the Niners have a strange habit of making bad defenses look really good recently this year. So it definitely was more of the same. Seattle was they struggled against the pass. And like I said, the first drive was fantastic. Jimmy looked great, but after that, it was pretty much nothing until Trey did what he did in the fourth quarter. So tough loss, guys, but we're getting a glimpse to see the future. And the future's hopefully going to be bright for Trey Lance, but there's definitely a work in progress for sure with the kids. So, yeah, Trey Sermon played well. I thought he's being more decisive with the way he runs the football. He's he's one cut and going. So that's an encouraging thing to see. And then, hopefully we can start getting some running backs back soon with Elijah Mitchell. Hopefully you have a little bit of like a 1-2 combination with the two of them. I never thought I'd say this, but I saw somebody in the comments say the 49ers, their bye week can't come soon enough. And I'm going to have to agree with you on that one. I feel like that's been like the last 3 years. Because even the year we went to the Super Bowl, we were pretty dinged up. So, yeah, we could definitely use the bye week for sure. Jag says, I think we should give a big shout out for the effort by Kinlaw on the play that Wilson scored. Also, Jalen Moore did great. Yeah, I feel bad for Kinlaw because, man, that's 6'5", over 300 pounds, trying to chase down a little guy like Russ who's got some wheels, and the poor guy ended up being gassed and cramping up after that. But yeah, definitely props to him. Definitely, Jag, you're right. And yeah, Jalen Moore was put in a tough situation, but it is the NFL. I thought the offensive line a little bit struggled in this game when Trey came in. Yeah, Trey made slow reads and was having a hard time. But they definitely looked like the offensive line was struggling a little bit. Paul Martinez says, season is over. Fire Lynch and Kyle. I don't know if you're being facetious or sarcastic, but I don't think it's over yet. But there's definitely this is definitely a come to Jesus moment with this team. We have to kind of be realistic in our assessment of this team and this franchise. But yeah, if things continue to go the way that they are, some things are going to have to be addressed at the end of the year. Like I said, this regime up until this point has been pretty underwhelming other than the one Super Bowl year. They built this team. They drafted the players, and it's just, one season we played really well, but other than that, 4 1/4 seasons haven't been so great. So definitely will have some repercussions if this season ends up getting out of hand and we have a tough campaign again. But that's definitely a work in progress, and hopefully maybe that doesn't happen. Luke Luna says, Paul, that better be a joke, dude. Yeah, exactly. The Sentinel says Trey started to cook the longer he was in the game. I agreed. He started getting hot, but he's still not seeing the field. His athletic ability is what got the Niners those touchdowns. It wasn't his ability to read defenses. So, but you're definitely right. The more he was in there, I felt the more comfortable he got. Slaps, nice name. Slap says our season just started. Yeah, it's just started, but we're definitely at a crossroads right now. So I don't know why. Says I think Trey handled himself considering the circumstances. Definitely, I think he handled himself well too. Uh, I'm like you guys. I wonder if I'm like you guys in the way I kind of was like waiting for Trey. I was seeing all the incompletions pile up, and I'm just like, man, just give the kid a couple of easy gimme throws. You know what I mean? Some screens. Just some easy completions. Sometimes Kyle, he says that the game plan wasn't set up for Trey to play. Kind of a weird statement, but I guess Trey has packages, but the game plan was more, predicated for not predicated. That's not the word I'm looking for. Was more designed for Jimmy. So, it'll be interesting now if Trey starts that we're going to have a playbook and a game plan that's made for Trey Lance to succeed. So I'm not going to lie, guys. I'm somewhat excited that Trey's going to play, but I'm also worried too. So this is definitely an interesting situation this early in the year. And everybody get your big boy pants on and your hard hat and let's go. Yeah, Trey definitely opened up the run game once he was in there. I agree. I just wish Shanahan wouldn't use him for like design stuff. I really hate design runs. The ones for the touchdown, like the one for the 2-point conversion, that was fantastic. But I want him to run the ball when he has to, but I want to keep it to a minimum because I don't want the kid to get hurt. He took a nasty shot on one of the runs he took today. And he's got to figure out where the first down marker is. I don't know if you guys saw that, but he slid down and was short of the first down, and he was really pissed off at himself. So it's all work in progress for this kid. His world is spinning right now. So, but I think he has the right mental makeup to get this thing on track eventually. Cards, Watt, and Jones and others will push Trey out of the pocket and control him the way like a puppet on strings. That's exactly how they will handle him after watching tape. Yeah. I hate to say it. They're definitely the Niners are gonna have their hands full with that defense. So they're gonna make him do stuff that he's not accustomed to doing. You wonder if they're gonna go a lot of man to man, and not give him any easy zone reads because, like I said, his clock in his head is not moving too fast right now. But it'll be an interesting game for sure next week against the Cardinals. Let him do what he's good at to get in rhythm, screens, bootlegs. Yeah, what is with Kyle not using bootlegs with quarterbacks? If there isn't one easy way to get easy completions, it's screens and bootlegs, especially with a kid with wheels. So I agree with you. I was saying that during the game broadcast that why aren't we bootlegs to get him out of the pocket, especially with the offensive line kind of fumbling and bumbling a little bit once he came in. So, whew. Jag says, I think the offensive line has to get used to the running aspect of Trey. The more he plays, the better the O-line will get. Yeah, you could definitely tell, especially in that Mike McGlinchey hold, that, having a guy like that when you're used to having a statue back there, it's definitely going to take some adjustment for sure. Who can read a defense when he had to run around? Yeah, the offensive line wasn't doing him any favors, but he's definitely got to speed up his clock with his reads. And one of the announcers made a good point of stop fading when you're throwing. Don't fade backwards. Step up in the pocket. So if he's able to step up in the pocket, that would be his best bet. Fading backwards and making awkward throws off your back leg, it's only going to cause turnovers and stuff. So definitely going to be a situation to keep a watch on, guys. According to 49ers Ultimate Report, Jimmy could miss 2 weeks. That means Lance will play next week. The future at QB is now. What's up, First Takes? What's up, Niners Ultimate Report? How you doing? Thanks for the info. I appreciate it. I've been on here the last 45 minutes, so I haven't been paying attention to Twitter or anything like that. Luke Luna, someone was just saying Trey will win this game against the Cards, guarantee, and he's putting his money. Oh, what an idiot. I'm not a betting man, guys. I don't bet. So that guy's dumb. But hey, Luke, it's his money, man. Whatever. Hey, I like the kid too. I think he's going to do good in this league once he gets accustomed to things. But that game next week is going to be tough, guys. Arizona is a good team right now. It's funny. They were the team that everyone was sleeping on, including myself, including other content creators. We all thought that the Cardinals were going to be kind of the stink of the division. Turns out they're the best team right now. So goes to show in the offseason, we have no idea what we're talking about. That's why I don't bet, because I'm horrible at predicting. And so, yeah. Luke says, I'll say this. Kyle better create the offense to function on the move before waiting for the Cards to force him. Yeah. It's not just me who thinks Kyle is just so stuck in the way he runs that offense that he will just not adjust unless he's totally forced to. Like, use the dude's strengths. Get him on the move. Like I said, bootlegs, QB waggles, anything to get him easy throws, get him some screens. Because like the guy was saying earlier, the comment, once Trey started cooking, he started making some throws. But again, those were more based on his athletic ability. It's going to take some time, and I'm going to keep repeating this for him to see the field. Like I said, I was listening to the post-game broadcast with Larry Krueger and a couple of those guys, and they were saying that his clock was slow mentally. So get him some easy completions, some easy throws, and give him a chance to heat up a little bit, 49ers Ultimate Report, Trey looked bad at first, but the more snaps Trey got, he got into rhythm. Trey will not take over the league, but with more and more time, Trey will get better. I agree 100%. Aaron Paul, on a positive note, Debo is the best player on the field every week. He is amazing. I sure hope management is getting ready to pay the man. Yeah, Aaron, I agree with you, but he needs to stay healthy this year. He needs to prove that he can stay healthy before they pay him. I agree with everything you just said, but his health has to be, he looks good right now. He looks fantastic. He looks like one of the best players in the NFL right now. And hopefully his body can hold up. I don't know if you guys caught a glimpse of him at the end of the game, but he looked exhausted. He looked like a guy who had a sore back and a sore this and a sore that. He looked beat. So go in the ice tub, homie, and, get that swelling down, relax a little bit, because we're going to need you next week. He will be forced to this week. Trey will look better next week. Even if he has a little success, he will look better. Yeah. The thing with Trey is he just needs to get reps. He's got to get reps. We all have said it before. The only way you get better in this league is by playing. Steve Young said it. But you had to have the right situation. You weren't going to just pull Jimmy for the sake of pulling him. So unfortunately, Jimmy's hurt and he's not going to be playing the next couple weeks. So Trey's going to learn under fire. Hopefully he can, bring his game up to that level. Who knows? Maybe we're all going to be pleasantly surprised how well he plays next week. But like Luke said, the Cardinals are definitely going to adjust and make him do things that he's not comfortable doing. Luke Luna, Debo injury. He plays physical, but injured too much for a top 10 money. Agreed. Aaron, like I said, Aaron, I agree with him that he needs to get paid, but he has to prove that he can keep his body. He keep his body healthy, because his level of play, or his style of play, like Kittle's, is definitely a type of play that gets you hurt a lot, because they're contact magnets. Jag says, I expect an improvement with Lance's game, practicing with the offensive line. Sermon played hard. I think he ran for 89 yards. With Elijah Mitchell hopefully coming back, will open up the running lanes. Yeah. The better the running game plays, I think the better Trey will play, because I think Trey, if the running game is successful, then the run fakes are going to work. If they're stopping everything we're doing in the run game, they're not going to believe Trey's going to take off. So I think the whole offense, if we run the ball effectively from multiple running backs, I think that the boot action, play action, misdirection, all that stuff will all work better with Trey if we're able to run the ball. So this next game, we definitely got to run the ball successfully, and hopefully Trey's game can benefit from that. I'm talking Kyle will be forced to adjust this week. I mean, and Trey will look better. Here's to the people who support Jimmy has happy feet narrative. When we saw that, yeah, Trey had happy feet too, brother. I saw it. I'll be the first to admit that Jimmy has happy feet, but Trey's feet were, that was a different level of happy. That was more like, yeah, he automatically wanted to take off every single time he didn't find a guy open. So, this is going to be a crazy season, guys. He could have stayed still to save his rookie deal. Wait, what? I'm lost. Explain yourself. I'm a little slow on sarcasm, so I don't know about you guys, but it's super humid where I am, even though it's cooler outside. Been raining all day, and I'm really sweaty. Yeah, he's got to get those happy feet down. He's got to learn to trust his reads and get the ball out quickly, because eventually teams are going to scheme to stop him. So very, very disappointing game today. I'm glad you guys came in here and supported the stream. I'll close it out by saying that I think the 49ers season is very much, I wouldn't say in jeopardy, but next week's game is definitely going to be important for the 49ers to somehow knock the Cards from the ranks of the unbeaten. It's going to have to be a full game from everybody, running, defense, Trey. And if the Niners want to salvage this season early on quickly, they're going to have to do a lot of get better with their fundamentals on defense, stay healthy, stop committing stupid penalties, stop turning the ball over. And if all those things happen, we can maybe we can keep this thing, maybe it'd be a wild card team. I'm not saying the season's over, but we're definitely at a crossroad right now with the 2-2 record and going into Arizona. So be realistic with your expectations. Don't get too high or too low. Be excited that the kid's playing, but expect him to struggle at times and to make you get pissed, because he's a raw prospect. But he needs to play. He needs to play in order to get the reps that he needs to get better at the sport. So I'll answer these last couple comments, but or I'll look at them. If Trey wins against the Cardinals and Jimmy is cleared physically, will Shannon go back to Jimmy after the bye week? That's what they're making it sound like. Unless Trey just plays lights out. But the way that they were making it sound, from what I saw on Twitter before I streamed, it's going to be Jimmy's team once he's ready. So that's what I'm thinking. Trey Lance avoided sacks many times in the pocket, and he bootlegged and threw the ball okay. I still believe Trey is the right pick. Yeah, well, we'll see, though. I mean, this is just the tip of the iceberg, 49ers Ultimate Report. So this is just the beginning of Trey's journey in the NFL, and he's definitely an interesting prospect for sure. Hold on and stay faithful. At least the fanatics, the fans, can more easily hide among the faithful now. Definitely. All right, guys. I appreciate you coming in here. I will try to get live this week, possibly Wednesday and possibly Friday, before the following week where my schedule gets a little wonky. But it's definitely going to be my job's changing a little bit. I'm going to a new location. So I don't know what my streaming schedule is going to be. I don't know if I'm going to have Sundays off. But I'll do the best I can to get on here and make content. I'll try to stay as up to date on everything as possible. Really wish the Niners could have figured out a way to finish this game today. But that's just the way things go. We got to stay faithful. We got to keep faithful. We have to cheer for this team no matter what. It's okay to be critical, though. No one says you can't be critical of this team. You don't have to be a sheep who just thinks everything the Niners do is the right move. But at the same time, let's be realistic. Let's be realistic with our expectations. And who knows? Maybe Trey sets the world on fire and we're talking a different tune in a month. So nobody knows what the future holds. None of us have a time machine. So hopefully the Niners can do whatever they need to do next week to beat the Cardinals. And then we'll go from there. Luke Luna says, no one is saying Trey's the wrong pick. He's got my support. Thank you, Luke. See, you can be like Luke and like he definitely supports Jimmy and he wanted people to give Jimmy a fair shot, but he's not crapping on Trey, even if Trey's going to struggle. So that's how you got to be as a fan. Be like Luke Luna as a fan. Don't be a fair weather fan who only cheers for the Niners when they're doing good. Be there when they suck too. Thank you, Luke Luna, for the super sticker, 149. Appreciate it. Hot diggity dog, as Jay in the Bay says. Appreciate it. Luke Luna says, you have to, brother, stay active. Definitely. All right, everyone. Thanks for popping into the stream. Like I said, I'll try to get on here probably depending on when games end. Next Sunday night will not be a go because I have to work at 4 a.m. the following Monday. So my stream will probably be next Monday afternoon following next week's game against Arizona. And then we'll go from there. I'll keep you active on my community tab. Thanks again for supporting me. Thanks for popping in and engaging in some conversation without being crazy. Thank you, everybody, again, for jumping into the stream. Drop a like down below. It helps YouTube find me. And drop a subscribe if you like what you hear. But until then, stay safe and healthy, everybody. Take care. And I'll see everybody on the flip side.